Gordon Taylor, Letters, March 10, asks who will be responsible for our armed forces if we become independent and could we afford to be so. As in Denmark, Norway, Sweden and so on, the Scottish government will be responsible for the armed forces. These armed forces will act with partners as the UK does at present. The interception of Russian aircraft heading towards the northwest of Scotland earlier this week was effected by quick reaction alert crews from Norway and France as well as the UK. Dutch Marines have trained in Scotland for years, and I understand that there are joint Scandinavian exercises in defending North Sea installations. Why should these alliances cease? I would expect the Scottish Armed Forces to concentrate on defence rather than attempt to reinforce some long-gone imperial image around the world. Others will respond to Mr. Taylor's Trident question, but I would suggest that the majority view is that these American-controlled weapons should be removed. Regarding affordability, Scotland has huge resources, more than 60% of the UK's maritime area and one of the biggest sea areas in Europe, estimated as 25% of Europe's offshore wind and tidal energy resource with 10% of its wave power, much potential as yet untapped. Scotland also has over more than 90% of the UK's oil resource and 60% of gas and timber. All whisky and 70% of the UK's gin is produced in Scotland, and we have huge food exports, especially salmon and other seafood. All of this raises significant tax revenue, or should do. We should have moved on from the question of whether we can afford to be independent. Just to be clear, I'm not a member of any political party but view the creation of a small, more nimble, independent country as a matter of ongoing community development. John C. Hutchison, Fort William. Gordon Taylor invites us to explain how an independent Scotland would defend itself without Trident. Perhaps he should direct his question to the many other small independent European nations who seem to be coping well enough in the same circumstances. Willie McLean, Mulgai. May I reply to Gordon Taylor by pointing out that the NHS in Scotland compares well to that in England. Our A&E services are the best performing in the UK. Scotland has the highest number of GPs per head of population in the UK, and our patient safety record is one of the best in the world. With regard to education, a record number of students enrolled at university in 2018-19, with record numbers from Scotland's most deprived areas, and the education maintenance allowance, scrapped south of the border, has been expanded in Scotland, while full-time college students here benefit from the highest bursary of anywhere in the UK. Regarding Trident, Scotland is a sitting duck precisely because we have Trident. For more on this story, visit the news article link.